Hello to every single one of you. That was good, wasn't it? That was pretty damn good. It wasn't perfect, by the way. It absolutely wasn't perfect. It was a decent performance. Not a perfect one by any stretch of the imagination. But I tell you what, it didn't need to be perfect. Sometimes you need to turn up, do your job, get your victory, and go home. And I actually think, weirdly enough, and I'll get on to all the comments soon, don't worry. I actually think if this performance happened in the Premier League today, none of us would have any hesitancy at all. I think the reason some of us may feel a little bit nervous about the performance is because it was in the Champions League and because maybe we're fearing old habits dying hard and all that kind of stuff. But overall, I thought this was solid. I mean, I don't think City were excellent, but I didn't think they needed to be excellent today. I think we needed to turn up, do a job, get the couple of goals, away goals, and just be solid and see the task out. And I think that's exactly what we've done. They were pretty poor, I will give it that. But we weren't absolutely wonderful, but we weren't bad either at any stretch. We were actually pretty solid, really. The thing is, they conceded one decent chance throughout the game until our mistake at the end, where Rodri had a bit of a mare. But I'll allow a Rodri mistake every now and then. Mistakes can happen, and we know he's a very good player and been in good form. But that mistake, we have to be careful about that kind of stuff because it can cost us every now and then. But I thought overall, it was a solid performance, a professional performance, and one with room to improve on. And I do think we'll improve on that performance, but I was fine with it, man. I was fine. It could have been much worse. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm genuinely pretty happy with it. It was decent, man. It was decent. It was a decent performance. Individually, I thought Cancelo was absolutely excellent. Of course, the killer moments from Cancelo, the stuff that actually matters, man. The assist to Bernardo, a wonderful raking assist. And then, of course, he was absolutely crucial in the second goal with exactly the same situation, once again, finding Bernardo at the back post. But this time, Bernardo cut it back across goal with Gabriel Jesus firing him. And it was fine. It was fine. I do want a little bit more fluidity. Of course, I want a little bit more fluidity from the team. But it's good. It's good. Do you know how hard it is to win 19 games in a row? And I saw a stat then which shows that we've won the same amount of games in a row as we won entirely under Sven-Göran Eriksson, which is just is a weird stat, but it's a fun stat, and I kind of like that. But this City side, another clean sheet, though we did at the end try to give away a clean sheet, and Rodri, I'm sure Diaz is going to batter Rodri for that. But we kept a clean sheet, had a few decent moments, could have scored maybe a third or fourth. I think we probably should do, if we're being honest. But the best thing as well, for me, the most exciting thing is we saw Sergio Aguero back on the pitch, and that stuff means something. Aguero back on the pitch. What more can you want than Aguero back on the pitch? And in that brief spell, he looked pretty lively as well. Professional performance, not an exciting one, and I do think there was room to improve, and I do think there was a little bit of hesitancy. I think we started pretty well, actually, started pretty lively, and I think Pep will be a little bit frustrated about maybe some of the slight kind of misplaced passes every now and then, but overall it was pretty goddamn decent, and I can't really complain. There's been a couple of super chats. I want to big love to Sinister for dropping the Positivity Unicorn. Big love to Sinister as always. Absolute legend. Deserved today. Absolutely deserved that Positivity Unicorn. And of course as well, there's another one here saying, from British Passion, saying Aguero looks pretty good. And I agree, man. Aguero did look good. It was an interesting team, wasn't it? I don't think Aguero's ever going to start, by the way, but I actually agree, mate. Aguero looks pretty good. Hopefully we'll see a little bit of him. He looks big, by the way, doesn't he? He looks absolutely stocky. You can tell he's been working on his shoulders. I bet he's got a cracking six-pack right now, Aguero. Fair play to him. He looks massively ripped. So he's a quality player, and fingers crossed Aguero will be back in the team soon. The thing is for me now is that we've given ourselves that platform now to go bring it back to the Etihad and get through this game. I do think we're going to have to start off a little bit more, and I'm sure we will do. But either way, I'm fine with that performance today. We were a little bit sloppy here and there, and I think Guardiola will be frustrated with some of the passes. I think Sterling had a bit of an off day, if I'm being honest. I love Sterling, and I think he's been in really good form recently. But overall, I think Sterling looked, Sterling aside, I think we looked pretty solid. We looked pretty solid. Go on, super sexy Stephen. I'll take that. Thank you so much. Sterling was bad today. I can't deny that. I think Bernardo was excellent absolutely everywhere. Bernardo basically showed that sometimes games can be a war of attrition. You have to work really hard to beat a team if your quality's failing a little bit. And Bernardo was excellent today, alongside Cancelo's excellent. Is exactly what we needed. Sinister asking the big question, is it overkill to say Cancelo is the best right back in the world? Sinister, right now, you struggle to find a more informed right back in the world than Cancelo. So maybe not, mate. Maybe not. I mean, today he was playing at left back and still goddamn effective. I mean, it's tough for Walker because I do actually think we missed the balance that Zinchenko brought us today. I do honestly think we're more composed and our build was more considered with Walker on the bench. Unfortunately, Zinchenko at left back and Cancelo at right back. Having said that, Cancelo was very good at left back today and Walker did save us at one point defensively. So, but maybe you've got a point, mate. Currently, he's probably playing, if not the best in the right back in the world, he's definitely one of them, mate. Definitely. So he's a quality player. It's a big win for us. It's a big win for us. It gives us that cushion and that buffer. And I really can't see, touch wood, them scoring 2 goals against us. I really can't see it at the Etihad. So maybe, just maybe, it's pretty much job done. I'm not saying it's fully job done, but we've gone an awful long way to making sure we've got a chance. And I'm happy about that. I'm definitely happy about it. Some nights aren't ever going to be special. Some nights are going to be perfunctory, just awake and there. And that's what tonight was. And I'm happy about it. I'm genuinely happy. I've said about 1 billion times I'm happy now. Can you tell I'm happy, by the way? Can you tell it? And the team lineup, by the way, was interesting. I wasn't overly happy with the defence. Not happy about that. Apparently, I'm turning to Guardiola. So happy. So happy. But the defence was okay. It was a solid lineup, but not necessarily exciting one. I do think Zinchenko, Cancelo, Diaz and Stones is our best back lineup. And I do think we actually lacked a little bit of Stones' current charisma. You know, Stones was driving forward the other night, and a bit of that wouldn't have gone amiss tonight, you know. A bit of Stones' aggression going forward. And I do think, obviously, we have to find a way to get KDB in the side, because KDB is KDB. But overall, it was a decent performance. No, I agree, and G203. Rodri made a mistake, but Rodri's been excellent recently. It can happen. I'm sure he'll be reminded about it. At least he made a mistake and it didn't matter this time, which is all we can say. But Monchengladbach were poor tonight, but they're a decent-ish team, so you got to turn up and do the job, and we did. Yeah, MKBS making a good point there, saying it's tough for the defence to stay focused when 8% of the match is in the opponent's penalty box. Yeah, it ain't easy to do that. It really isn't easy to do that at all. So sometimes you got to just kind of really see it out. And that's what we did. I wish we'd kind of had like, you know, a scintillating performance where we'd blown away and scored 3 or 4 goals. But it ain't easy to do that. It ain't easy to do that, especially when we've not travelled for some time outside the country, you know, especially when it's got that Champions League kind of mentality over us. But I actually think as well we'd actually have bigger performances against a bigger team than Monchengladbach. I do believe we'd raise our game a little bit. Haaland first priority, says Dor Gerson. I tell you what, I love Jesus as a footballer, and I will defend Jesus to the cows come home because I think he's a good footballer and I like his attitude and I love his work rate and I love what he does outside the box, and I even love that he scored today. But I tell you what, when Jesus went through and goal after we won the ball high up the pitch and he got tackled, I wanted to throttle the guy. We can't be that wasteful in front of goal. That kind of stuff can cost you in the big games. And it was very, very, very annoying. But either way, it was a mistake in front of goal. And Jesus brings a lot. But I do think we do need a killer. Sterling and Jesus can frustrate you in front of goals. And that's often 2 of our forward line. And we can't be that wasteful in front of goal. Individually, by the way, I thought Gundogan was a bit quiet today. Roger was fine. Bernardo worked really hard. Foden, a little bit quiet. But I'll forgive Foden a quiet game every now and then. But basically, Sterling was a little bit, yeah, he wasn't good today, but it doesn't matter. Peter Benjamin, I'm good, mate. It's 19 in a row, by the way. 19 wins in a row. We've got David Moyes' West Ham, who can stop us getting a perfect 20 at the weekend. That would be typical of Moyes, wouldn't it? Typical Manchester City, an ex-Man United manager, a much maligned manager who's now turned West Ham round. I'm a little bit nervous about that, but fingers crossed we'll win that game. But overall, tonight wasn't a momentous night in the Champions League, but it was a decent night to see City beat a team in the knockout stages that we should be beating and do it relatively comfortably. Sometimes you want to just see an alright performance, a comfortable performance, and that's what we got tonight. I do think Pep, as Patrick pointed out by the way, that he looked frustrated at times. He looked frustrated with Jesus for missing that chance. And rightfully so. And do you know what? That'll be Pep's insecurities, by the way. Pep's insecurities about this competition coming through. Going, you can't waste that. And Sterling looked pissed off as well. I did see that. But Sterling looked pissed off with his performance, I think. Because Sterling would know tonight, as a senior member, that he didn't play well enough. And sometimes that's what it can be about. Don't forget as well, by the way, please do hit the like button. Let's get over 300 likes if you don't mind. And let's get me to 51,300. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. But overall, tonight was a good step forward and another comfortable performance and another clean sheet. And I think Guardiola was keeping some players happy tonight, like Laporte and all that kind of stuff. We can't batter everyone away from home. Michael, I absolutely agree. But this was a decent performance. Some performances are just 6 out of 10. You know, good, competent, professional. But that's what we often lacked in this competition. And it's carried on. And I do think any doubts that we've been having about this game, and it's not many, and most people are pretty positive. must be pretty positive. I've seen some people say, we shouldn't be wasteful in front of goal, but I don't think we'd be arsed if it was in the Premier League. So it was a good performance, a solid performance. Brother-in-law's a Hammer fan. He's nervous, says Peter. Yeah, he should be, man. He should be. It was great to see Aguero get time, by the way. How nice would it be if Aguero literally finds a bit of form towards the end of the season? And how good would it be if he finds some form and starts scoring goals and helps us fire to a bunch of trophies? He's like the best kind of player coming back, hopefully. And he looks pretty lively. He looks sharp. That lovely little flick at one point. It was absolutely delightful. I'm very happy tonight, guys. I'm very happy. And I agree, Torres looks sharp as well, actually. Torres might get a start against West Ham. Who knows, man? He might get a start against West Ham. Who knows? But I do think Aguero is probably only another substitute appearance or two away from a start in a game. And rightfully so, because Aguero still has that bit of magic, that we know he does. But fingers crossed, it's not a false dawn on Aguero. I thought Laporte looked good as well. Laporte was solid today, absolutely solid. He's a very good player, Laporte, man. He's a very, very good player. It's difficult to get into this team at the moment, but Laporte looks comfortable. I mean, we've got 3 absolute top-class centre-backs, and how do you keep them all happy? I don't know how you can. But Monchengladbach, I think they showed nothing today to fear. I mean, Zakari had a good performance for them, by the way. Loads of energy, and he had a good job on... he was good against Sterling as well. But... I think we've got nothing to fear against them back at the Etihad, and we should be going through here. And who does everyone want, by the way? Let me know in the comments below, of course. It's going to be interesting. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go now because I'm going to do some fan cams with a couple of people. So if you want some fan cams, make sure to come back to the channel later. Go and check out as well the watch long and all that kind of stuff. But for now, though, I'm going to go set up and get some fan cams done. They'll be coming tonight, so make sure you hang around. I've got 3 or 4 coming. Hopefully you enjoy them as well. But City have won 2-0 away at Monchengladbach over in Budapest, weirdly. It was a good performance, and not a special performance, but a likeable performance. 19 wins in a row. Absolutely awesome. Come on, City. Big love to every single one of you. Come on.